what do you think has been some of the key lessons you learned in the past year or two as you were trying to kind of like reinvent and redevelop yourself in the Web3 space?
Yeah. I think one major thing was when everybody was talking about NFTs, I jumped in at that time where it was sort of like booming, right? And it took me about a year to kind of understand what the hell I was doing or what the hell I was supposed to do. And by that time, when I felt comfortable to kind of jump in with my own brand, with my own, time, with my own money as well, it kind of like started to taper off. Mm-hmm. So I think, one lesson I would say I've learned was not to focus solely on one thing. I tend to take one thing and dive into it and run with it completely. I think that's just a habit of mine. I remember there was one podcast with the Dukan show.
Yeah.
The title was Hyper Focused.
Okay.
Because that's generally what I do. You know, like I'll take one thing and I'll dive in and I'll just block everything out and sort of,
become hyper focused on it.
Exactly. And just try to be the best at it, So I think what one possible mistake I made was I kind of like, I kind of reduced my other, social media, commercial work, presence. Okay. And that kind of like, reduced my brand value, I would say, on that side of things.
Sure. You've been, sometimes we're chatting and you go, I'm just about to go to an NFT or, Web3 event and there's all these gatherings and stuff like this. And in a sense, it kind of felt like there was a subculture that was being created among us. And perhaps if you're not in that space, perhaps for a lot of us, it was confusing. We weren't sure what was going on. And it's still confusing for me too. Like I was still trying to, understand the ins and outs of it and what's cool and what's not and, what project to invest in. But to bring it back to creators and maybe especially photographers even, what do you think would be the wise thing to do not to miss the boat, let's say the second round, when it comes to understanding the mechanisms of whether it's creating arts and NFT or how much to get involved in it? Do you think there's a strategy that people need to keep in mind?
Yeah, definitely, man. I think, it's like, when TikTok first started or Instagram first started, I was one of the people that didn't jump on board when it did start. And, once it's become mainstream, it's already kind of too late and the growth had already happened. Like if you were to start an Instagram or TikTok account today with your brand, it wouldn't hit the numbers that you have just now.
Sure.
So I feel like the NFT thing is sort of that now where, it's very obscure at this point. Not too many people understand what's going on. And there's many avenues, but one great example somebody gave me is how he explains NFTs to people when they think, hey, NFTs is a scam and, don't do that. So his name's Anas. He's part of the ArtsDAO founders. He said, imagine somebody says, hey, I don't believe in PDF.
Okay, that's a good one.
You know what I mean? Like PDFs are a scam.
Yeah,
because, if somebody sends me an email and there's a PDF in it, and if I click it, they can take me somewhere that scams me, right? Sure.
But you're also not making $100,000 and you're not buying PDFs for $100,000, right? So I guess it depends on the value of them.
Exactly. But again, like the NFT tech is like the PDF tech.
Sure.
It's something that you can put whatever you want in it. So the PDF can be, a document, your title deed, your car registration, you filling out a form. It could be, a piece of poetry. It could be a piece of music. It could be whatever you want to put in that PDF.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But somebody can also send you a PDF with a fake link that drains your credit card.
True. Yeah.
So it's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. It's just a piece of tech that encompasses whatever you want to put in it.
Gotcha. And I think people were looking at it more like that sort of first gold rush investment perspective and forgetting about the tech aspect of it, forgetting about how can this tech really integrate with our day-to-day and in what aspects can we utilize the non-fungible tokens and the rest of it, within our day-to-day ecosystem. I think there was a case study around boarding passes for flight tickets, about authenticating watches, for example. So there's a lot of different uses for it. And I think it'll be cool to see how that still trickles in, within our different transactions that we carry out on a day-to-day.